Hello everyone, welcome to this short session on common source amplifier, wherein we will be estimating the voltage gain, input impedance and output impedance for this amplifier employing NMOS enhancement transistor. So this is my circuit diagram for the common source amplifier employing NMOS enhancement transistor. So over here, the input is applied to the gate terminal and the output is sensed at the drain terminal. So if these two conditions are satisfied, then it's a common source amplifier. Here we have an internal resistance for the source, and the amplifier consists of the active element, which is the MOSFET, the 4 biasing resistors, and the the 2 coupling capacitors and 1 bypass capacitor in the form of CS. And in the form of load, we have RL, and the output is taken across the load RL. So it is more uniformly distributed as follows. First we have a source, then we have an amplifier stage, and then we have a load. So over here the description is written for RSIG, CC1 and CC2, which are coupling capacitors, and CS is the bypass capacitor. RSIG is the internal resistance of the voltage source Vs. Now what we need to do is we need to derive the expression of the voltage gain, input impedance and the output impedance. So first of all, we have to draw the small signal equivalent circuit for this amplifier. So let us begin. So for the AC analysis or the small signal equivalent circuit, all the capacitors and the independent DC supplies are replaced by a short circuit. So over here, as you can see, the 3 coupling capacitors are replaced by a short circuit, and here the supply voltage VDD is also replaced by a short circuit. So your diagram reduces to this network. Now in this, what we need to do is we have to replace the MOSFET, the N channel MOSFET enhancement type, by its small signal hybrid pi model. So we have a drain terminal, we have a gate terminal, and we have a source terminal. And when we replace this by its small signal equivalent model, we get this equivalent circuit, which is coming up here, which is marked in purple color over here. Between the gate, drain, and source, we have the following equivalent circuit. So between the gate and source, we have VGS. Okay, just a minute, it's loading a bit. Yeah, so between gate and source, it is open circuit. We have just a voltage VGS. Between drain and source, we have a current dependent voltage source, whose value is given by GM into VDS. It is nothing but your small signal current ID. And we have RO, which is taking care of the output impedance in the characteristics. So this is the purple color thing which you see over here is my small signal hybrid pi model for the MOSFET. So here it is, same thing. Now what we need to do is at the gate terminal, we have to redraw the remaining circuit. So let us see what is in the gate terminal. At the gate terminal, you see over here, there are 2 resistors, resistor R1 and resistor R2. Okay, and they are in parallel with each other, as you can see. So from the gate terminal to the left hand side, we have R1 and R2 in parallel, and then that is in series with resistor RSIG, and then in series we have a signal source VS. So here it is RSIG and VS. Now at the source terminal, one of the source terminal is connected to the ground and other end is going to the RS terminal towards the ground. So basically when we have a short circuit and a resistance, the short circuit will be preferred because it is a low resistance part. So that means the source terminal is directly connected to the ground. So here it is. Source terminal is directly connected to the ground. What about the drain terminal? At the drain terminal, we have resistor RL and resistor RD connected in parallel. So here you see resistor RL and RD connected in parallel, and across the load RL, we have a resistor. Across the load RL, we have a output. Now let's see the complete small signal equivalent circuit. So from the drain terminal, we have RL and RD in parallel, and we have a voltage V out, which is connected in parallel with the both the resistors. So this is my complete small signal equivalent circuit for a common source amplifier. Now, here you can see the yellow color marked grounds are all AC grounds in this small signal equivalent circuit, because this small signal equivalent circuit represents only changes in either the DC voltage or the DC current. Okay, so here we have over here AC source VS. So what are the changes in the VGS? What are the changes in the ID? That is what is this model is representing. Now we have to find the expression of the voltage gain, which will be V out divided by Vs. So let us do that task. So first of all, we have to estimate the small signal voltage gain AV. For that, I have redrawn the small signal equivalent circuit over here. Now look carefully. We are marking certain things over here. So small signal voltage gain AV, here it is defined as V out divided by V in. Now V in is marked across R1 parallel to R2. Okay, that means it is the input to the amplifier. Whereas including the Vs, that is the input source. Okay, that is including the internal resistance R6. So there are two gains. One is V out upon V in, and other gain is one is V out upon Vs. So first of all, let us find V out upon V in, and then we will find V out upon Vs. So if you look carefully over here at the output node across the RL, if you apply the normal KCL, so you have the current over here flowing into the ground terminal across RL. The current will be given across this as V out divided by RL. Okay. Similarly, here we have V out divided by RD, and here we have V out divided by RO. Now, why is this possible? Because the voltage across all the three resistance are same. So the current will be voltage divided by the resistance. So here we have three currents defined in green color. First is V out upon RL, second is V out upon RD, and the third is V out upon RO. Now this is circuit number 1B. So from 1B, can we write V in is equal to VGS? Yes, because they are in parallel. So if you see carefully, V in is in parallel with VGS. So that's a very good smart observation. Next, we apply the KCL at the drain node. So what is KCL? Sum of incoming currents is equal to sum of outgoing currents. And at the drain, at the node D over here, at the drain node we see there are total 4 currents which are outgoing. Which are the 4 currents? V out upon RL plus V out upon RD plus V out upon RO plus GM into VGS is equal to 0. So there are 4 outgoing currents. So here it is, we have written over here, and we are writing in place of VGS, V in. So we can rewrite this as follows. GM into V in is equal to minus of 1 upon RO plus 1 upon RD plus 1 upon RL. So we can take V out upon V in, which can be written as minus GM into RO parallel to RD parallel to RL. So V out upon V in is nothing but my small signal voltage gain. So my small signal voltage gain for a common source amplifier is given by the formula AV is equal to minus GM RO parallel to RD parallel to R1. And this we call it equation number 1.1. Now over here, if you see carefully, minus sign over here indicates that the input and output are out of phase with each other. Fine. Now, if RO and RL are not present, then our gain formula becomes AV is equal to minus GM into RD, which we call it equation number 1.2. Fine. In case not every time RO or RL might be given, so the formula of AV will be much simpler. Now, we have so far determined V out upon V in. Now we are going to determine V out upon Vs. So let us do that. So as you can see, the small signal voltage gain, including the source internal resistance, is given by the formula AVS. Okay. Earlier we have AV, which was V out upon V in. Now we have AVS, which is the overall voltage gain, including the source. So we have, it is given by V out upon Vs, which we can write it as V out upon V in into V in upon Vs. And V out upon V in is nothing but your AV, which we have found out. So AVS will be AV into V in divided by Vs. Now, from the circuit 1 point B, by voltage division rule, I have reconnected over here only the part of Vs and V in. So if you look carefully into this small circuit, what can we write V in terms of Vs? Yes, we can do that. So we can write V in is equal to R1 parallel to R2 divided by R1 parallel to R2 plus R6 into Vs. So that is the fraction which we got. So your AVS, the overall voltage gain formula will be given by AV times R1 parallel to R2 divided by R1 parallel to R2 plus R6, which we call it equation number 1.3. So this is the overall voltage gain for the common source, small signal voltage gain for the common source amplifier, including the source resistance. Now over here, we can see the term over here, R1 parallel to R2 divided by R1 parallel to R2 plus R6. It's an attenuation factor. So basically this factor will reduce the gain slightly. Okay, so that is what we have to keep in mind. Now, next we have to determine the input impedance. So let us go to the input impedance. Yeah. So we will adopt a technique in finding the input impedance Zn. So what we have to do is look carefully. We consider entire small signal circuit inside a box. And here it is my small signal equivalent circuit. And we apply a external test source Vx. And we measure the current Ix. So what will be Zn over here? So Zn will be given by Vx divided by Ix. So that's the approach which we will be following. Also, one more thing, that while we are focusing on finding Zn, that is input impedance, the output of the circuit is not the focus. Okay, so remember that. So what we will do, we will put the entire small signal circuit inside a box, and we apply a test source. We remove the input source and we apply a test source Vx, and we measure the current Ix. So Zn will be Vx divided by Ix. Now, if you look carefully, we are not concerned with the output. Okay, and in the equivalent circuit shown over here, the gate and the source terminal are open circuited. Okay, because the gate current is zero, almost zero, the gate and the source terminal are open circuited, and we are no way going to involve anyway with the V out term. So we can drop the entire circuit from the gate to source. Okay, so thus the equivalent circuit becomes now like this. So we have Vx, Ix applied, and your Vx upon Ix will be R6 plus R1 parallel to R2, just as it is. Because the entire circuit between the gate and the source is open circuit, right? Over here, as you can see. And we are not concerned with the V out. So for finding the input impedance, your circuit reduces to such a simple network. So your Zn will be given by R6 plus R1 parallel to R2. And sometimes if R6 is also not given, your Zn is merely equal to R1 parallel to R2. So adopting this technique, the analysis of finding the input impedance becomes very simple. Now, let us similarly find the output impedance. So this is the estimation of the output impedance. Again, we consider a technique that, we consider the entire small signal circuit inside a box with the external test source applied to its output terminal, and we measure current Ix. So what will be the output impedance Z out? Vx divided by Ix. And one more thing, very, very important thing is, for estimating Z out, V in has to be set to be 0. Okay, this was not present in case of the input impedance, but for output impedance, we have to make sure that the input source is set to 0. So if it is a voltage source, you short circuit it. If it is a current source, you open circuit it. Now, so let us draw the complete, the entire small signal circuit with input Vs equal to 0. Okay, now if you look carefully in this diagram, if Vs is 0, V in will be 0. Now, if V in is 0, VGS will be 0. If VGS is 0, GM into VGS current source will be also 0. And how you represent GM into VGS current source equal to 0? By a open circuit. Okay, so that's what we have written. Since Vs was 0, V in is 0. Since V in is 0, VGS will be 0. And since VGS is 0, GM into VGS, that is your dependent current source, becomes open circuit. And your circuit will reduce to this. So as you can see, at the output terminals, we have removed the output V out and we have connected a test source Vx, and we are trying to measure the current Ix. So we have to redraw the circuit with GM into VGS as open circuit. So your equivalent circuit reduces to this network. Now, as you can see very clearly that if you measure Vx upon Ix, it will be just a parallel combination of three resistances: Ro, parallel to Rd, parallel to RL. So Z dot will be given by Ro, parallel to Rd, parallel to RL. So this is my output impedance of a single stage common source amplifier. Now, sometimes if Ro and RL are not given, the output impedance is just equal to Rd. Now, let us move on to the next part and let us try to answer a question. So, in a common source amplifier, why are input and output out of phase? So we have written the simplified form of the gain expression, that is minus GM into RD. Actual expression will be minus GM into RO parallel to RD parallel to RL. But we are signifying the importance of minus sign. Why the input and output are out of phase? Now look carefully over here. Let us mark the voltages over here as VG at the gate terminal, VD at the drain terminal, and VS at the source terminal. Now, let's say that Vin increases. Now, Vin is nothing but your input source. Okay, VS or Vin we can say. Okay. Now, if you see carefully, your Vin writes on the VG. So by the time your input Vin reaches at the gate terminal, we have both AC and DC quantities. So when we say Vin increases, we say VG also increases. Okay. And your VS voltage does not change. Your voltage at the source does not change, which is a DC quantity, since the capacitor CS will block the DC. So what we have over here so far, as your VG increases, as your Vin increases, VG increases, voltage at the gate terminal increases, your VS remains constant. Okay, your source voltage remains constant, and we have the formula of VGS, which is VG minus VS. So if the source voltage is remaining constant and the VG voltage is increasing, can we say with Vin increasing, VGS also increases? Now we have the formula for the current, okay, which is relating the current and the voltage. Oh, sorry. So here is the formula. ID is given by Kn times VGS minus VTn the whole square. So if we say VGS increases, we have to say ID also increases, which is the drain current also increases. Now, from this diagram, what is the formula for VD? I mean, what is the voltage at the drain terminal? It is VDD minus IDRD. VD is VDD minus IDRD. So over here we have the drain voltage formula VDD minus IDRD. Now over here we have seen if ID increases, what happens to VD? VD reduces. Okay. And what is at VD? At VD we have over here the AC quantity as well as the DC quantity. Okay. And we have a capacitor connected which will only pass the AC quantity. So if we say VD is decreasing, we have to say the V out is also decreasing. So that's what we exactly mean over here. If VD reduces, your V out also reduces. Okay. So we have started with V in increasing and we have ended with V out decreasing. So in summary, we can say that if V in increases, your gate voltage reduces, your source voltage remains constant. So your VGS will increase. With VGS increase, ID will increase. If ID increases, your drain voltage will reduce. And if the drain voltage reduces, your V out will reduce. That is why we say that the input and output are out of phase with each other in a common source amplifier. That is, there is a negative sign in the gain formula. Okay. So okay. So with this, we have completed the derivation for the small signal voltage gain, the input impedance, and the output impedance for a common source amplifier employing a N-channel MOSFET. So that's all for this session. Next time we will see the common gate amplifier. So until then, have a good day and thank you.